You submitted an offer and it was rejected and you can't figure out why. We've helped probably more than 100 people move to this area over the past 10 years. Current market value of the home is $300 and probably $95,000. They come in at 370. She didn't even want a counteroffer. Don't make the offer so ridiculous. You want a legit offer that they can move forward with. So, contingencies, financing issues. Before you go out and look at homes, get pre-approved. Well, it's a buyer's market. You're looking to buy a home. Been thinking about moving to the Sarasota, Lakewood Ranch Parish area, and you submitted an offer and it was rejected and you can't figure out why. Well, I'm here to talk to you about that today, why I see a lot of offers from both sides, representing the buyer and representing the seller, why things are getting rejected, what buyers are looking for, what sellers are looking for. So I'm going to walk you through this process. We're in a very heavy buyer's market right now. So let's think about it and let's look at both sides. But hey, my name is John Bice. I'm with eXp Real Estate. I also work with Ryan from the Florida for Boomers Network. So you may be getting this as part of our marketing package to you. We represent Manatee and Sarasota County for Ryan, and we've helped probably more than 100 people move to this area over the past 10 years. So we would love to help you if you're buying here, if you're planning on being a snowbird here, if you're planning to sell your home here and maybe move back to the north or downsize or move into one of our 55 plus communities. I've got the information for you. That's the kind of information you're looking for. Hit the subscription button and the notification bell. And every time I put out a new video, which is 2 to 3 times a week, you'll get a notification that'll tell you that it's available to watch. So let's jump into this thing. Let's talk about what people are doing in this market. So they're hearing that it's a heavy buyer's market. They're not doing their research on maybe what the current market value is for that home. Yes, we're in a declining market. I've got a perfect example for you. We've got a home listed. Current market value of the home is $300 and probably $95,000. It's a villa, actually. And if you're from the north, a villa to us is 2 units that are attached, 2 or more, but 2 units that are attached. So the last 2 units that sold in this small gated community, there's like 130 homes in there. Hardly ever a home available in there because the people who live there love it so much. So it's been over 6 months since a home sold. But the last 2 that sold, both sold for $395. Very comparable, same kind of view, same size. So we had an agent this week bring in an offer. Her price on it right now is $405, thinking we'll get an offer between $395, $399. It come in at $370. She hasn't even been on the market 30 days yet, and they're $35,000 under her asking price and $25,000 under what probably is the current market value. She didn't even want a counteroffer. Didn't want to. I talked her into doing a counteroffer, but that's one of the big things in this market. You have to have an agent that can tell you honestly what the current market value of that home is. Show you comparable sales, just like you were putting your home on the market. Show me comparable sales that have sold within hopefully the last 6 months. The ones in that community are 6 and 8 months old, but you do a little bit of adjustment for the market that we're in that's declining slowly. The prices are coming down. So you do a little bit of adjustment there, but probably not $35,000. You want to at least get the seller to consider and make a counter offer. Now, I have on the seller side, I have to walk some people through. It's been a long time since they've sold a home. So any offer that comes in, you can reject it, or you can make that counter offer. If you get a full price offer, you can reject it and just say, nope, you know what, we're done. We're coming off the market. So You don't have to take any offer that comes in. But as the buyer, you want to encourage those sellers to make you a counter offer. So in my mind, she's priced at 405. If that was my buyer, I would start probably at 380 to 385. And then you're thinking we're going to meet somewhere in the middle between 385 and 405 is what? 395. And I have comparable sales to show for it. So that's one of the big mistakes I see people making at this point is that they think because there's so much inventory that people are desperate. Some people need to sell. Some people would like to sell. Some people don't have to sell, but they would like to. This particular lady's going to move and be closer to family. So, yeah, don't make the offer so ridiculous that you don't even get a counter offer from the seller. Contingencies, pretty much unheard of these days. I've had a couple offers come in lately, contingent upon the sale of our home. Well, the first thing I'm going to talk to that agent about if I have the seller is it's listed, correct? It's on the market, yes. Is it a pending sale under contract? Well, what kind of market is it where they are? What's the days on market? Have they had any offers and all these things? We're going to find all those things out. If it's a pending sale, it has a contract. Okay. Are they through the inspection period? Where are they in the sale? Agent sometimes comes back and says they're all the way through the inspections. Their loan is about to be approved. They're almost at the closing date. Oh, great. That's a great contingency. I had one this week. You'd like to make it contingent on the sale of her home. Okay. Is her home on the market? Well, not yet, but it's going to be in the next week. And the average days on the market in this area right now, it's about 100 days. So that means if my seller would take a offer like that with that contingency, that means she's in a pending sale status. We have to have a contingency addendum that says, hey, you need to sell by this point. So let's just say that's 45 days out. She's off the market for 45 days because we're waiting basically for that other person's home to sell. Guess what? If it doesn't sell, they get bumped out. Now, there's ways to work around that. You can have a kick out clause. You can have things to protect you as a seller, but not the situation you want to be in this market. And if you're thinking that as a buyer, it's just really, really in this market, not a good thing to consider because people who are getting an offer on their home, they want an offer. We have so many properties on the market. If you get somebody actually saying, yeah, we really like this home, we're making an offer, you want a legit offer that they can move forward with. So contingencies, financing issues. Before you go out and look at homes, get pre-approved. Get approved. If you're dead set that you're going to get a mortgage and you're moving and buying a home, go through the application process. Go ahead and do it. And have a letter from your lender that says they are approved for this amount. At the very least, have a pre-approval letter that says, I've submitted a little bit of paperwork. They've done a soft pull on my credit. Looks like they will give me a loan for $500,000 to buy a home. That'll work for a contract. That will. It's a lot better if you're approved already and you have an approval letter that says, I'm approved for $500,000. That works a whole lot better. But have those steps taken care of. And you don't want crazy things to kick in. I've literally had people who have gone under contract to purchase a home. They're going through underwriting, everything's being checked out, and they go buy furniture for the whole entire house. Messes up their financing completely. So once you're in that process, don't go out and buy a Lamborghini. Don't go out and buy furniture for the whole house. You can't do that because that is going to throw this monkey wrench out there. Your credit is going to change because you're all of a sudden you bought $30,000 worth of furniture and things just get convoluted. So know how that whole process works. Highly recommend if you're buying in Florida, use a Florida licensed mortgage person that knows the area where you're buying and knows Florida. Also, for your homeowner's insurance, your real estate agent should be able to refer you to people to talk to. Florida insurance person, Florida mortgage person. I highly, highly, highly recommend that. Timing of the offer. What works for the seller? What works best for them? It's not all about you, believe it or not, on either side. So you have to come to an agreement. This particular seller that we were just talking about, she's going to buy a new home. We have a Del Webb here, Bayview. They have move-in ready homes. She's going to buy one of those, but is waiting for a contract on her home. So that timing is very important to her. So have your agent contact the other agent and say, what's important to your seller? Do they need a lot of time? Do they want a 30-day closing? What is it that's important to them? Now, as the buyer, you may have already sold your home and you may have a closing date on your home. Probably should have got a home before all that took place. But if you're in that situation, you have to see if it works for both parties. All right. So we often see too where people are going to move here or going to be snowbirds and they're willing to do a lease back on a property with the seller. So you go ahead and close on the property. It frees up the money that the seller needs. The buyer is now the owner of the property and you have a lease back just like they're leasing from you. I would say there's a very, very good chance that seller is going to take the same care of that home as when they were living there as when they're leasing it from you. Okay, so it's a nice opportunity. You might make $2,500 a month on a lease back. So 2 or 3 months worth of that, you make $7,500. Not too bad. All right, so there's opportunities there. Hopefully your agent can explain that to you. Competing offers. Just remember, you're not the only one looking at that home. How many days has it been on the market? If it's something that's been on the market, let's say 65 days, you may be the only offer coming in. Rolling back to the home that we're talking about, we had that offer come in. We had an offer come in that was a contingency offer, just like I talked to you about. We've got an agent showing the house today that her clients actually loved it. So is she going to submit an offer? So there's all kind of moving parts there. So if there are other offers, you have to let the listing agent or ask the listing agent, do you have any other offers submitted? Do you have an agent getting ready to submit an offer? Now, some agents will blow smoke and say, oh, yeah, we've got 13 agents turning in contracts. Oh, really? Gosh, it says you've been on the market 75 days and now you've got 13 offers, and over exaggerating, obviously, but some will tell you the truth. Some will say, nope, don't have anything. Call me. I'll go, nope, right now we don't have anything. Or we have a showing today. Or we had one offer come in, but it was too low. And we had another offer come in. It was a contingency. So at least you'll know there may be competing offers out there. Very important to know. Then you want to be able to, again, relate to that seller and make it as seller friendly for them with your offer. If you're bringing in an offer that's a little bit lower than what they're asking for, things you can do more escrow to show that you're sincere about the property. There's as is contracts here. You do all your inspections and you're basically saying, I'll take the home in the as is condition. Doesn't mean you can't ask for repairs if there's something wrong, but that makes your offer a little stronger. That stronger escrow. Picking and paying for the title agent, the person who's going to close the transaction. Now, it's negotiable in the state of Florida. Some counties, like over in St. Petersburg, which is Pinellas County, it's almost unheard of for the buyer to pick and pay for title. I always recommend for the buyer to pick and pay title because you can go to a real estate attorney, pay the same amount that you were going to pay for the title policy, and the real estate attorney represents you in the transaction. Always recommend that for my buyers and my sellers. That way, that attorney, if something goes sideways, is there to protect you. Okay. We're going to do everything we can to make sure something doesn't go sideways, but things get a little wonky sometime. So you want that attorney representing you in the transaction. Acceptance date, just one more. We're going to have on the contracts. You're going to submit it and say, I would like an answer back by. Have your agent contact the list agent, say, when will you be able to speak with the sellers? You can't just say, hey, we want an answer today. You don't know what the sellers are up to. Are they in town? Are they in the hospital? Are they on a cruise? What is it? So have your agent contact that listing agent, say, what will be an appropriate amount of time for you to talk to the sellers and be able to get us an answer back? Now, you don't want it sitting out there for a week. Hopefully, within 24 to 48 hours, they will be able to give you, in a normal situation, they're living there, they're available, you can talk to them. So that's another thing. You want to give them enough time to consider it, especially here in Florida when you have elderly sellers. They're not going to just say, yes, I'll take it. They're done. They're going to want to talk about it. They need some time for it to soak in. And then probably they're going to call you back a little later that day or the next day and say, okay, this is what we would like to do. All right. I hope that helps you. That's just some things to help you as you're making an offer, thinking about both sides. Remember, this is a business transaction for you. Don't get emotional about the house. I love that backyard and that pool. Don't get emotional about that. It's a business transaction. What are the comparable sales? What's that home worth? How many homes are available in the area? How many are selling each month? Where do you see the market heading? Is the market heading down? Has it leveled off? Are prices appreciating? What can I expect when I buy this home? Oh, and by the way, what are the taxes? What's the current homeowner's insurance? It'll be different for everybody. It depends on what company you're using, but know those things. Know that the taxes for the current owner is not going to be the taxes that you're going to be paying, because it'll be reassessed the following January, and your taxes could significantly go up depending on when they purchase the home. Know what homestead is in the state of Florida. Very important. Okay. Hope that answers some questions for you. There's about another 4 hours worth of information here I could give you about this, but that will help you make a good, strong offer on a home. All right. If you have questions, call me, text me, email me, put questions down below. I try to answer them all. Keyboard warriors. If you're putting stupid comments on there, post and ghost, I believe is the term they use. So you don't have to do that. If you don't like the color of my shirt, or that I'm bald headed, or that information I put out there, that's fine. But yeah. So contact me. I'm happy to help you buy or sell a home in the Sarasota, Florida area. Thank you for watching. I look forward to hearing from you. God bless.